Meat, meat, delicious meat. Oh, how I do love meat. Mince and sausage, chicken and beef. I do love to eat meat. You can see meat walking down the street, plodding around on 2 feet. Grab a seat, it's a flavour that can't be beat. Nothing beats a fleshy carcass, even when things look their darkest. When I have fresh blood dripping from my chin, and I'm wearing someone else's skin, I feel I've committed every sin. Right, 2 spiders crawled up my leg, and then one of them jumped onto my middle finger, onto my right hand, and latched on. It screeched, hissed as it bit me, and I was screaming as I couldn't get it off. And in my dream, I knew it was a deadly spider. Okay, first of all, they crawled up your leg, and then one jumped onto your middle finger. So how far up their leg did you come? Did they come? Could you see your leg in the dream? Could you see your thighs or your groin area? Not your actual groin. And I'm assuming you weren't naked, but... But it is rather important to determine what that might mean. So, were you wearing pants? Can you remember your legs? Do you remember how they worked? And maybe knees. Okay, yes, I could see my legs. You could see your legs. What, your whole legs? That's interesting, because you normally don't see legs in dreams. I was wearing pants, though. I don't remember what kind. Maybe jeans. So, they weren't crawling on the inside of your leg. They were crawling on the outside of your leg. Then they jumped to your middle finger. Yep. Okay. No, I just wanted to get that confirmed. Right. Yeah. So they weren't crawling up your trouser leg. They were crawling on your legs, where you were clothed. One then jumped to your middle finger on your right hand and latched on. It screeched and hissed as it bit me, and I was screaming as I couldn't get it off. And you knew it was deadly. Right. Well, if you're looking for some elaborate look. Okay, so look, this might be annoying to understand or accept, but well, I know legs in your dream, it indicates that you have found your ability, confidence in something again. Okay, so there is a real difference here, right? Okay, Meatloaf has a great book, but they are of objective imagery. Okay, they take no personal stance on you. If you know someone, it's much easier to interpret someone's dream and meaning than it is from an objective point of view. But you should never dismiss objective points of view, because they are a great starting point to kind of work things out, right? For me, and this is common throughout all art and literature, there are only 2 things that everything comes back to, as much as you may not want to admit it or like it. It's sex and death. Okay? That's it. They always come back to those 2 things. That is life itself. Sex and death. Okay? Crawling up your trouser leg is a sexual thing. Okay? Whether it's on the outside or not. In fact, the fact it's outside means it's unwanted. Okay? The fact it bit you, it jumped on you, it pounced on you, it's a predator. The spider itself is something that's creepy. It's a fear of being encroached upon. That's what that is. Okay, then Sigmund Freud. Yeah, exactly. that is what it is. It's someone is cruel. Somewhat like a spider, right? 8 legs, right? It looks like a hand. Yeah. Look, I like objective. I like objective views, but imagery in one's mind is yours alone. No one should be able to dictate that to you. So my feeling of what that is my interpretation of that. And it's a subjective one because I know you. It's not an objective one based on the generalization of what dreams may have been inferred of in the past. They are vital to understanding dreams, but they take away all personalization from it, and thus they lose meaning as a result. So, what we've established about this character through the first 2 chapters is that what this character is doing is they're on a journey. We've caught them mid-journey, we've determined. They are being confronted with very nightmarish imagery and people and horrible visual images. And I believe that what we are confronting here is a symbolic reflection of ourself and our past deeds and how we're feeling. We are often seeing the eye, and we've seen this mysterious silhouette of a woman watching us, featureless in face almost. And as we established before, if you cannot see a person's face in a dream, it usually means that person is not a person, but rather a theme or an idea. And for this, I believe it is criticism or shaming. We talked about scopophobia, the fear of being watched. Perhaps we feel guilty. We've been confronted with the imagery of self-harm. Again, basically confronted with guilt and perhaps a reflection on our own mental state. The yellow Mac shielding our face. I used to wear my hair long, very long, rather than the murder mohawk I've got going on right now. I used to have it all the way down my face, and I used to use that as a layer of protection from the outside world. And this hood is another thing. It's shame. You're hiding your face from the world. She doesn't want to be known. She's also very hungry. We've constantly been confronted with these feelings of emptiness and wanting to consume and not being able to walk because we're so hungry for meat or food or whatever it is that we are craving. We met this weird guy with big gangly arms. We chopped those arms off. But he was a hoarder. He was collecting children, wrapping them up, seems to be sending them off somewhere, but he was also a collector of shoes, or, as I joked, a collector of souls. I think, again, it reflects that consummation. He is consuming goods. He's hoarding goods. He's got the big arms so he can collect and gather as much as possible. Something that we can't because we're very small and little. We can't gather ourselves. Can't maybe come to terms with ourselves. The consuming is going to be a big theme going forward in this. So pay close attention to it, especially in this chapter. So here we go. Just got to get used to the controls again. There we go. So after escaping that gangly git and chopping his arms off, we are making our way out of this guy's lair. And here we have some hooks. Oh, didn't want to go up there. Didn't do that. I wanted to actually... Okay. So shoe. Doesn't put shoes on. Barefoot. And it's quite content with barefoot. Which is something I didn't think of when putting this together, actually. But my initial thoughts on that is punishment. Self-flagellation almost, you know. Stepping over these hard surfaces, feeling the pain. It's penance, in a way. Or I think, well, at least gathering what I believe this character is facing and being confronted with. Perhaps their barefootedness and refusal to even put on the shoe, for example, is their own punishment for themselves. They will traverse this and suffer. So it doesn't make noise. As far as I'm aware, it does not make noise. Has not made a single noise. It looks like the bodies are being carried on these things or something wrapped up, and we've seen little bodies wrapped up. So I believe there might be a little bit of penance going on here. There is a reason for that. I'm going to look into the naked... Oh, I think we need to catch onto the hooks, or maybe catch onto one of these. There might be something else to it, so... it's definitely worth looking into. Oh, I wanted to catch onto that. Oh, I get it. We get up here and then we grab them. Have you ever tried tying your shoelaces in a dream? Do you know what? It took me until I was 20 years old to actually learn how to do shoelaces. And even now, I still wear Velcro because I actually think they're more secure because they don't come apart. But I can't do shoelaces. And I have my Converses and all that. Oh, who's that up there? Who the hell was that? Look like a big chef. Is that why these bodies are here? To be consumed? A very quick decision, impulsive thought there. But it goes along with the theme. Shoelaces are overrated. They are. They got on my nerves. Didn't understand it. I always used to ask my dad, how do you do shoelaces? And he'd show me, and I'd always get the first part, but then his hands would get in the way, and I could never see the most crucial knot being done. I'm like, but I didn't see that bit. That's the bit that I can't do. Took me a while, loop de loop. So I avoided shoelaces forever because I was so ashamed of the fact I couldn't do it, and it annoyed me. And even now, I always say things that I have fear for is deep water because I can't swim. Okay, my own mind because of my depression and my inability to control, or my ability to control but losing that control, and knots. For the life of me, I cannot do knots, and I work with these things we call spider tags, and to tag electrical goods, and they get knotted all the time, and I haven't got the time to untangle them. They get me frustrated. My blood pressure raises. It's a nightmare because I cannot untangle knots for the life of me, let alone do one. So, honestly, I hate knots so much. But I can do shoelaces now, but not very well. I can't do like tricks with it. I can do basic shoelaces and that's it. Oh! How apropos that I make a decision. We see a chef, we see these bodies being delivered here. Suddenly, we're feeling hungry. Once again. Oh, the hunger must consume. Musophobia or musophobia? The phobia, as an unreasonable and disproportionate fear, is distinct from reasonable concern about rats and mice contaminating food supplies, which may potentially be universal to all times, places and cultures where stored grain attracts rodents, which then consume or contaminate the food supply. In many cases, a phobic fear of mice is a socially induced conditioned response, combined with and originated in the startle response, a response to an unexpected stimuli, or stimulus. Common in many animals, including humans, rather than a real disorder. At the same time, as it is common with specific phobias, an occasional fright may give rise to abnormal anxiety that requires treatment. There is a common folk belief that elephants are afraid of mice. The earliest reference to this claim is probably by Pliny the Elder in his Naturalis Historia, Book 8. Numerous zoos and zoologists have shown that elephants can be conditioned not to react. Mythbusters performed an experiment in which indeed multiple elephants did attempt to avoid a mouse, showing that there may be some basis for this belief. Regardless, elephantophobia remains the basis of various jokes and metaphors. The eating is the worst part of this game, to be honest. It's also very important to this game, which is probably why it's so horrendous for a horror game. It's scuttling, isn't it, really? That's what it is. It's the scuttling nature of rodents. I mean, it's the same response, I suppose, you'd have for a spider or a snake, but here's the difference. Spiders and snakes, we are kind of conditioned at a young age to even fear, as they even look fearful. Rodents look cute. We have hamsters and gerbils, but it's the scuttling. It's the unknown. And again, the fact that we associate them with plague or disease as well, especially rats, there is, even though it's very quick, sudden reaction, there is a quick association that we draw and make a parallel to in a split second. Our mind retains these generalizations as well. Oh, that was a big one. Must eat, but the only thing around must consume. greatest fear is the fear of the unknown. We did discuss the unknown when we were talking about the fear of darkness. It's very true, very true, and it's the preconditioning. I mentioned in the when we talked about darkness how it's natural to fear the dark, right? You can't see, makes sense. Your senses are being blinded. Natural response. But if I said I'm going to turn the light out and that creates the panic and fear, that's a phobia. And it's the fear of the unknown, right? You feel like as soon as I turn that light off, you don't know what's going to happen. But you do know that the lights are going to go off. So in a way, it's an unnatural response. And you know that you're in the presence of someone in that situation. You know? Fear is a natural response, okay? But it's how it's handled and dwelled upon, conditioned in your brain, that will create these phobias. And so the fear of the unknown is a natural response, and you should fear the unknown. Nom nom tastes like chicken. Midnight, what if it's got diseased? What if it's got diseased? What if it is diseased? It's a rat. Just did that for fun. The body's still here, bundled up, making it quite clear that we can see them. More sex than death, please. That's life, mate. That's life. Life can be boiled down to those two things, unfortunately. It's all sex and death. You wouldn't be here without your parents having sex. Well, I mean, or at least the process. Obviously, you can get artificial insemination, whatever, all that kind of stuff. The process is still formed in the same manner. It still defines your sex, and then you die, and everything is linked to both. Your fear is linked to it, right? Most fears are a fear that I'm going to be hurt or eventually perhaps die from whatever is there. Death itself is an unknown, you know, right? And sex is the creation of life, so it's life and death, but sex has a very prominent and extended meaning in our society in today's cultures as well. It's more pronounced and not as forbidden as it used to be. And rock and roll, hey, well, you know, rock and roll. That's, you know, yeah, rock and roll can be death metal, can't it? You know, kick it to the man. You know, well, kick it to the man. I don't know what I'm talking. Stick it to the man, probably. I'm not rock and roll, clearly. But rock and roll also comes with sex, doesn't it? It comes with the freedom of expression, which can be ecstasy in a different form. Lovely thoughts. Yeah, it's not that everything is sex and death. Everything could be tied back to sex and death, right? It's not the be all and end all, but they are the fundamentals. So I had this since a child, so a recurring dream. It started to come back. Basically, I'm in children's playroom, and it's stupidly colourful. Then it starts to go black and white from the top down. Then it goes all mouldy, and then it's complete darkness before hearing 3 witches cackling. Okay. When criminology covered bodies is a sign of remorse. That makes sense. That makes sense here. I believe, given what the character is perhaps confronting. We'll need to see the end result, but I think you might be onto something. Okay, so we talked about children's playrooms, actually, in the previous stream. And basically it's... So, childhood home. To dream of a childhood home may reflect feelings about your outlook on a situation based on your most honest feelings or memories about the home. So, your home, like childhood home, is where you didn't have as much responsibility. It's more comfortable. Obviously, that varies. If you had a traumatic childhood, then it's the complete opposite. But that is trauma we're talking about. And therefore, a dream that is trauma-infused is not necessarily as interpretable because it can be easily linked. But if you had a normal childhood, let's say a normal, it's usually a sign of comfort. The fact it goes black and white and then it's darkness perhaps means that you are longing for the lack of responsibility or independent. It comes back to independence again, I feel. You may be... Like, there's a lot going on in the world, especially because I know you trundles and I know you're between jobs and stuff like that. That might be why it's maybe come back up recently. There's a lot of pressure on everybody to be an adult, right? There is. But I think it was Up Alone that said, like, we're all children in wearing adult, like, skin suits. I heard that from her recently, and that's very true. Have you ever thought, like, when you were a kid and you saw a teacher, like, as a person of authority, and you thought, oh, they're an adult, they're very serious and stern and very important and intelligent, and you get to their age and you're like, fucking hell, they were idiots just like me. They were still as childish and laughing at cocks. You know what I mean? It's an odd thing, but we never truly grow up. We just gain more experience, and that may then change the personality that we are, but we never really change. But we are thrust into a position of responsibility and independence that is expected of us. I know I fear it. That's why I'm not independent. I say that wholeheartedly. But you know, we want certain things in life. Some of us want to be independent. Some of us want to have that job. Some of us want to have that house, or whatever it is that you're aiming for. But what comes with that is sacrifice, and that sacrifice is your time. So you know, your emotional. Like you're going to have to give a lot of stress and strain and go through a lot of hurdles to get there. You're going to have to take on a lot of baggage to go with that. And you didn't have that when you were a childhood, because everything was in the future and it was hopeful. Perhaps now you are you're taking black and white is contrast, right? It's not all black, right? It's that balance. You've got a bright future, but you know, right now you might be going through some struggles, or you might feel like you're being oppressed. That's why it's coming down on you. Comes down in the room, doesn't it? Comes black and white from the top down. Or did you say top down? Yeah, from top down. That makes sense. Maybe feel quite oppressed. Yeah, mouldy, and then hearing the witches cackling. That's an interesting. Witches is an interesting one. I mean, that's mocking. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's witches. I mean, you're interpreting it as witches. It's never literal, right? It's never a literal thing. It's not witches cackling. You're being mocked. So maybe you feel like your decisions may not have been taken seriously recently, or the fact that oppression is coming from a place of ridicule or critique, maybe of your own self, even. So I think it's kind of that comfort thing. You're taking a big leap into the world, and you're in that kind of limbo state. You may have already taken that big leap into the world, but you're feeling the pressures of life and the responsibility that comes with it. And I think we can all really familiarise ourselves with that in one way or another. Definitely the black and white coming down is that kind of and then going to darkness is that oppression maybe consuming you a bit. Maybe it's getting to you. I know you haven't been sleeping too well recently as well, so it does kind of tie in. I don't know, but I'm interested to know what you think of it as well, rather than just me prattling on. Black and white dreams generally represent a lack of emotional participation in the dream. Interesting. Because I know someone who just dreams in black and white, so they never have coloured dreams. So you know, it doesn't always apply, but it's definitely a mess of emotions, perhaps leaving it behind. So no, I don't think in that situation that works, but it could. I don't know which way. I mean, if you could tie that in, or fleeting makes sense. Fleeting makes more sense in that. Still looking for an adult than me. Yeah, I think we're always going to until old age. I think that's the case. I mean, say for Big Potato, she said a spider crawled up my leg, jumped on my middle finger, screeched and bit me. And I said, that's because you fear being encroached by a creep or being touched by someone else, a human. It's because it's never a spider. You're dreaming a spider, you're not scared of a spider. Or if you are, that's not a spider in your dream. Your brain is not that literal. It's what it represents. So, no, you've got parts of what I believe to be correct. Oh, okay. Well, interesting. Yeah, and if you could relate to that, you know, that's good. Being aware of what your dreams are telling you is being aware of what your unconscious is telling you. And your unconscious is your true self. Always remember that. Your conscious self is what you present to the world. Okay? That doesn't mean it's a lie or a fabrication. Try to be as earnest and honest as possible. But we all need to manage our own emotions externally. Internally, you cannot control that. You are who you are, and you'll be confronted with that through many different ways, mostly, you know, in your dreams, if you want a visual interpretation of it. Okay, let's continue on. Blood. Scroll back down. So I went up to check the child room. What? Hemophobia. Blood phobia is often caused by a direct or vicarious trauma in childhood. Though some have suggested a possible genetic link, a study of twins suggested that social learning and traumatic events, rather than genetics, is of greater significance. The inclusion of blood injury phobia within the category of specific or simple phobias in classificatory systems reflects a perception that fear has a primary role in the disorder. Consistent with this assumption, blood injury phobia appears to share a common etiology with other phobias. The recognition of an inebriated vulnerability common to all phobias is consistent within the notion that elevated trait anxiety predisposes one of the anxiety disorders. Trait anxiety provides a background of affective arousal that permits a more rapid activation of the fight or flight response. With respects to specific activation events, conditioning is one way that stimuli becomes able to elicit anxiety. Okay, so basically, when we see blood, we are obviously conditioned to know that there is an injury. It's almost like when we feel pain, but in a visual sense. So we associate blood with injury, we associate blood with pain, with trauma, something going wrong. So when we see it in other manners, we immediately draw the same parallel to our past experiences as well. When it becomes a phobia, that can get really bad, because obviously you know your blood is flowing through your body. Sometimes even thinking about blood can cause you to have, palpitations and emotional responses to it. So it's actually one of the most deadliest of fears. Is the fear of blood, because there's nothing you can do about the fact that you have blood in you. But in terms of like stimuli and why we find it so traumatic to see, it mainly is linked to that pain receptor that we've experienced our whole life. I wish I remember my dream well enough to get an interpretation. Most of the time you won't, and most of the ones you do remember are not one consistent dream. They will be an amalgamation of your last maybe 3 dreams in your waking sleep. Random quote: "There is no point in being grown up if you can't act like a child. Act a little childish sometimes." The Fourth Doctor. Very true. Very true. And that could be reflected in the character we have here. Is our character an adult or a child? Right? They're small in a big world, right? But is that because in this world small people are, or is it a thing at all? It isn't a thing at all. There is no real size difference here. Okay? That's my belief. The size is only a reflective symbology of how the character feels. Okay? That's all it is. It's not like, oh, we're in a world with giants. That's not the question you should be asking here. The question is, why is this character so small in comparison? Why do they feel so small? Okay. Why are they hiding? Why are they shriveled? Why, you know what I mean? Oh! Should we talk about fear of doors? No, here we go. Let's swing that open. Let's get... can't get in! Oh, now I clicked out of the damn game. Now I lost my notes. Oh, it's all going wrong. Alright, there we go. Hey, I'm through. Oh, yeah, that was the biggest hurdle I've faced in this game so far. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. No. Hold on. I can't grab it, I don't think. I can. There we go. Very clever and deep graphical design. What are we talking about? What, this game? Because yeah, it's all been designed meticulously. Okay, I can hear knives. I think this chef might be about. Carrots on the floor here. Oh. Okay, look at the state of that. Okay, guys, this is the key. Are you ready? The key to this game. You remember in Bioshock and Bendy, we got to a point in the game where I told you that if you want to understand this game, there is one point, or at least one thing, that you are confronted with that gives you the key to understand the game, and this is it. Gluttony. Gluttony, derived from the meaning to gulp down or swallow, means overindulge and overconsumption of food, drink, or wealth items, particularly as status symbols. In Christianity, it is considered a sin if the excessive desire for food causes it to be withheld from the needy. Nowadays, gluttony is seen as an emotional cry for help, as succinctly put by author Peter de Vries, who said gluttony is an emotional escape, a sign something is eating us. That is your clue, your key to understanding this game. In my Discord, there is a draft of the logo that my friend is making. Yeah, it's in there. Yeah. Go join his Discord if you want. Look, you can find it through. Actually, he can whisper it to you. But you can probably find it through the cesspit if you're in there. Not gonna lie, looks like dinner lady in my primary school. My dinner lady from my primary school is actually working with me now. in my actual job, has been there as long as I have. It's very strange. She remembers me and everything. Oh, look at that slide. Uh-oh. No. That's nice. Oh. He's got sausage. I don't know where I'm meant to go here. He's over there. Can I get in there? Quick, go across. Go across. Uh-oh. Oh no! I'm still holding crouch. You bastard. What are you going to do with me? Oh, he's going to chop me up. We don't see the death. We do see some deaths. In this case, no. It's just being caught, I think. We have seen some gruesome deaths in the past, though. So, I think it just varies from... I think they wanted to keep the gameplay quick, because obviously if he catches you in a certain area and you have to watch an animation where you have to walk across the whole map, I think they just didn't think that was quick enough for to keep in there. Oh, we need a key. It looks like we can go up there, though. So I think I'm going to climb up there. Oh, you see me? Okay, oh, no! You saw that death. Yeah. I saw that death coming. Need to be careful not to knock things, I think. I don't even know where I'm going. There's got to be a key up here somewhere, right? Is it up there? Pancake death. That was, yeah. It's not even Tuesday. And Trundles is very good as well. He's very quick on the ball. Trundles is. Okay, this is. I didn't expect to get. I thought we needed a key. So it looks like we're going to have to come back down here, I think, at a later date. So we're going on a very long-winded path here. Oh. Okay, so it's not one person. There's multiple people. Oh, there's the key. Okay. Come on. Oh. Run! What were you throwing it for? No. Ah! Bollocks. I don't like this guy's face. No, I don't think you're supposed to. We talked about disfigurement before, deformity as well, quite prominent in this. Distorted faces in dreams. again, often is more symbolic than it is literal. Disfigurement is changing of one's persona or perception of a person, or perhaps a unconscious uncertainty about someone. For this, it's quite obvious that it's okay. Oh, what? Oh, right. That is going to be very difficult to do, because I'm not very good at mouse and keyboard. I'll be on later, so you'll be obligated to watch me instead. Yeah, Delta's on later. Yep. It looks like it's not his face. I don't think it's been like... I don't think it's a face stolen. I think... Like, he's not wearing someone else's face, I don't think. Because that's very different. That is a persona issue. That is... If I do it this way, I might be able to swing onto the floor. There we go. He's going to get me. He's going to get me. What do? I swing onto the floor and hide under the bed just before he turns the lights on? That's going to take some very impeccable timing and finger control, and I think I can do it. Okay. Use the soap. Use the soap? Like a Home Alone style trap. We got an idea. Why has he got a picture of a toilet hanging up on the wall? That is brilliant. You didn't think it was disgusting before. Look what he cherishes. Evacuation of the bowels so he can consume more. He's already seen me. He's already seen me. No, he hasn't. He hasn't. But he's going to be in the hallway. Is he going to come back to bed? He's going to fuck off. Should we take the risk? Oh, he opened the door. He opened the door. He might be buggering off. Okay. Actually, he's probably going to the toilet. Can I not go back that way? Maybe I have to go back this way then. Oh. Uh-oh, I think he's coming back. I think he's coming back. Heard another door opening. Okay, okay. Woo! Alright, there we go. I said I could do it. Just had to put a little strategy in place. Where are we? Have we been here before? I feel like we have. We have passed through here before. Ah, but this guy's going to still be around. Just in case he comes through. Oh! Oh! That was close. Let's get to the door and we'll talk about our next subject here. Because it links to this room. Oh, we done it. We're done. You have to court me first before DM sliding. I'm blushing now. Trundles. Honestly, I can always count on Trundles to flirt with pretty much everyone in the damn chat. Okay, this one's an interesting one because although I don't fear it, I certainly can feel it sometimes. Sebophobia. Sebophobia is defined as the fear of food. People with sebophobia often avoid food and drinks because they're afraid of the food itself. The fear may be specific to one type of food, such as perishable foods, or it may include many foods. Individuals with eating disorders, such as anorexia, may avoid food because they worry about the effect it can have on their bodies. For example, they're fearful eating food will lead to weight gain. So it's quite an easy one to draw parallel to in the game as well. Because it's the complete reverse of that, isn't it? It's consumption, it's consuming. But the extreme opposite of that is the fear of food itself, which might explain why we're very small in comparison. Do you see what I mean? So it's the fact that we're hungry all the time as well implies we don't perhaps eat a lot or... So yes, the extreme opposite. So we're seeing a lot of food. Like the consumption here, like we were so close to a kitchen, and yet we decided to eat the rat, right? We're desperate. We get ourselves into a desperate state. It's not that this character may fear food. It's more drawing that distinct parallel. But the fact that that exists, you know, I don't eat a lot, but I wouldn't say I feared food to the point where it frightened me or scared me. But I remember seeing this... there was this show when I was a kid. I can't remember what it was. It might have been just like a late night Saturday evening show. But someone was like, I fear like celery or broccoli or something. And then like, they presented her with broccoli, and she was freaking out on TV. I was like, crazy exploitation in a way, but it happens, and it's a very, very odd manner. But obviously, a fear of food has detrimental effects if you're ignoring food. Right, so it's a killer one. You know, anorexia in of itself kills. Actually, someone. No, I won't bring that up because obviously. I heard of someone died recently of anorexia. Not someone I knew personally, but someone else knew, I believe. Sausage. Oh, wait a minute. It's too heavy a door. So let's go up here. Yes. These sausages. Offal, right? We talked about the fear of food. Offal, it's just the offcuts from meat, right? It's just jammed into these little... What's that called? That skin. It's the word skin, isn't it? It's intestine tract, I think. And it's just all fucking stuffed in there. It looks awful. Yeah, exactly. Offal is just like when you know what it is. It's just it might taste amazing. I don't know. I only eat chicken and fish. Like eating mammals for me is just weird. And it's weird I got myself into that mindset. I didn't eat a lot of meat anyway, like in general. But it was actually Eddie of Doom, Bready of Doom, one of the mods. He told me that you know eating mammals is weird, and it was the first time I was confronted with that idea, and I was like, that is weird. I'm going to stop because I cannot comprehend that any longer. And it's very strange. Not offcuts. Offals all. It's all good. Yeah. I suppose offcuts is the wrong word. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But I do get that. Like we talk about fear of food. Sometimes I will fear it in a way. I'll fear the bad experience I'm going to have if I'm already going to be in a position to not enjoy it. Something that looks awful or sounds awful, which is a lot when it comes to taste, right? They factor in. Can often lead to a fear of it. Certainly. Not a fear at the point in which, it's detrimental or anything like that. So maybe that's the wrong word to use. Let me turn it. Awesome. Someone's looking for more meat. Oh, that's it. Because now that's 3 of them. Okay. And I didn't get it. Okay, so maybe that isn't enough. I know we got to swing on it into that hole, right? But it's not forming anymore, so I should be able to reach it from here. Yep. Okay. Hung meat. Where's your mind, soul? How many more sausages do you want to make? You can never have enough sausages. As awful as that sounds. Hey, making progress now. Alright, here we go. Okay. Hanging meat, hanging bodies. We've seen bodies being wrapped. We know bodies are wrapped in that manner. Another key. And another elevator. Another lock. And another elevator. Holy moly! Ah! Ah! Well, we know he's there. Whew. Okay. Well, I know where I've got to hide. It's just now we know he's coming. Hit the elevator, rush and hide into that little area. So you're going to hide in that box there. You got to go in the backs. Yeah, thank you there, Violet. Hey. And I didn't do what I said. Too busy. Chatting away. You didn't even reach into that box, you. Git. Right. Run. Quicker than that. Not into the wall. Boom. Slide. Great. There we go. Hey. Is he coming back up? He is. Right, okay, so he's back up here. Do we wait for him to go back down? Or... Oh, no, he opened the door. Okay. Ah. Okay. Let me... Because my notes went down when what happened. Okay. I think it's a good time, considering where we... the previous area. Let's talk about Carnophobia. Okay, so Carnophobia is the fear of meat. Carnophobia is often due to traumatic experiences involving meat, like suffering a severe illness after consuming meat, went on a traumatic trip to a slaughterhouse or a butcher shop, had an accident while preparing meats, adverse reaction to images or advertising for or against the meat products, or, most commonly, wanting to go vegan or being a vegetarian. So vegan, if you go vegan or vegetarian, you make a conscious decision to go in that direction. That can actually create, and you can condition yourself to have, obviously, an opposement to meat, and that can develop into a fear of meat. So you can actually manipulate yourself into these kind of fears through going in an opposite direction. For some individuals, carnophobia is not caused by direct exposure to meat, but rather through family and friends' negative views or experiences with meat. So we're seeing the influence there from your surrounding. That's how conditioning happens mainly. Everything that makes us who we are in the first 20 years of our life is formed through our experiences with life itself, and the way we are conditioned through being raised by parents or not being raised by parents, but being raised in certain situations and surroundings and environments and people have a big influence. How you were treated at school can influence your personality and persona, most certainly. And more importantly, the fears we have in life, as well as our dreams and hopes. People suffering carnophobia would not eat meat like chicken, steak, sausage, hot dogs, ham and turkey. For some carnophobics, even thinking about meat or hearing someone talk about meats may induce panic, as well as other reactions like rapid pulse, sweating, fleeing, muscle tension and inability to think. I like the flee emotion, because in my mind it's like, oh yeah, I had a hamburger the other day, and it's just a blur as someone just sprints off down the street. What a strange fellow. Yeah, it goes back to remember I said about the darkness, right? It's natural to fear the darkness, but if I said I'm going to turn the light out and you're fearing me turning the light out, you're predisposing a position. So even the thought of meat could create that kind of... And the fact that we are meat in some way, that can also, just like blood, can have a very detrimental effect if you get yourself into a very catch-22 sort of loophole in your mind. One meaty boy. Bloody hell. So... Let's continue on. There's only one subject to talk about in chapter 4, and that's because a lot of the themes we've talked about and discussed, we're going to be confronted with continually to illustrate the narrative as it goes forward. Fucking hell! You see why I wanted to bring up the fear of meat? I mean, look at that; it's disgusting. Oh, look at that under the fucking chin. Oh, how many folds are under there? Okay, how the hell am I? All right, I'll go sneak around the back. Okay. Why do I run? Okay, he's looking under there. That's good. I shouldn't have ran there. I should have crouched. You guys, honestly. I'm shell-shocked at the moment. Need to focus. Okay. Some cups here. Maybe we've got to distract him a bit. Have a grinder. Did he see me? No. Woo! Damn, that cleaver was sharp. Man knows how to sharpen his knives. I still use blunt knives in the kitchen. Do you? Oh, there's a key there. Right. Oh, I gotcha. Bloody hell. He's turned it off. He's going to come back. He's going to see me. I took too long. What am I throwing it there for? Pick it up. Pick it up. Oh, no. No, it's glitched. I can't pick it up. Ah, yeah. Well, all right then. Ah. Blunt knives are more dangerous than the sharp ones, my dude. Are they? Where is that? Ah! That was silly. I ran, didn't I? Ran too far in. Oh, what are you going to do with me? Oh, he put me in the grinder. Stabby, stab, stab when in the kitchen. I have a bit of a fear when it comes to knives, actually. I wouldn't say I feared knives in general. It's not like I can't use them. I'm like, knives. It's more when anyone else is handling a knife, even if it's in a chef situation, like someone's cooking, obviously. I'm always fearful that they're going to hurt themselves. And that, I can't, unless they put it down, I get really angsty. I can't deal with it. And it has no reflection on who the person is either. It's not like, oh, it's someone I think is clumsy. Doesn't matter who it is. I feel like someone's going to get stabbed and pain's going to ensue because it's a knife. So, and given knife crime in the UK is quite high, hearing stories about that certainly escalates my reaction to people. Not the meat grind. Oh, there's not much meat on us. Let's be honest. Slim pickings. Set of bones and a skin suit, really. Too much pressure on the blunt ones causes the knife to move in weird ways and straight into your hand. Ah. Like when they cut onions. Right. Got to be quicker, got to be quicker. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. 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 Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh! Yeah, it is. He's going to come back down, probably. I don't know. But we're going to be out of here by the time that happens. Come on. Come on. Quicker than that. Yeah, he's coming. Oh, shit, the handle. Did you see me? Did you see me? Oh. What's under his hat? That can't stand up, that, naturally. Oh, open the door. But not enough for me to... Maybe... Hold on. There we go. Is it open now? Is it unlocked? No. Okay, I have to get onto the handle. Okay. Oh! Hello! Bollocks. Ooh, look, plunger. I plunge to new depths. That low rumbling sound is exactly you can hear in nightmares. Have you heard low rumbling sounds in your nightmares? That's interesting. I don't get much auditory stuff when I sleep. It's rare that people even talk in my dreams. And that's not uncommon. That's not uncommon. Words are quite meaningless in your dreams. because it's usually your imagery that does the effect, more so. Like in terms of having an influence on what your unconscious is. Your words don't really mean much. It's more the act of talking in of itself means something rather than what you're saying. People get very bogged down in like certain things that are being said and draw meaning from words being said in dreams, when in fact it really doesn't matter. And what you remember is probably not exactly what you said in it, because we fill in the blanks naturally. When we see patterns, we naturally fill in the blanks in between. There's a really cool thing where you can switch the first and last letter of a word in a paragraph or in a book or whatever, and you'll still be able to read it quite clearly. Because our brain rejumbles the words naturally. And so just like hearing auditory commands and trying to fill in the blanks, you make it up for yourself. Have you ever had that conversation with someone and you don't quite hear exactly every word they say, so you piece it together in your mind? That what you're doing there, you're doing instinctively, and you even do that when you're remembering what people said. So you tend to change the way people say stuff. That can lead to miscommunication and wrong implications or inference of what was being said. And the same goes for dreams as well. You might remember yourself saying something, but actually you're stringing it together and making it make sense in your head now as you tell it, as opposed to when it was actually being displayed in your dreams or heard in your dreams. Yeah, last one I was in, building collapsed. Memories are so interesting. Yeah, they are, and they're often they're very inaccurate, because we tend to extrapolate all the bad stuff from our mind, from our memories, naturally as a defense mechanism, because we don't want to experience bad emotions. So we heighten the positivity. Obviously, when we can't and they are overriding emotions, then it becomes trauma. Okay, I think we need to get on those stacks of dishes, right? But what reason for? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, there's a hook. It's going the wrong way. It's going the wrong way. That'll take us back where we were before. I think we need to find a switch somewhere to switch that, because it's going back. Yeah, there's two of them. We knew there was two, because there was one who was upstairs asleep while the other one was downstairs, if you recall. They all look the same, which again shows that there is no distinction here in people. They are not an actual person. They are a representation of a person. For this one, they are the purveyor of food, right? And our character seems to be a very hungry individual. I know that sounds very vague. But we are learning to be fearful of a food provider. But what is food? Right? Like in a sense, as an idea, what is food? Right, what does it do? What does it provide to you? Not the specifics of perhaps eating, but rather what is food. Okay. That's suicide, yeah. So we need to find a switch to reverse the... Hey! Can you see me? Oh! There, that must be it. That must be it. Pull that switch, it'll go the opposite direction. Then we climb on the pikes and get on the hook. Yep. Yep, there we go. Uh-oh. Hope you haven't seen me. Please don't say you've seen me. Please don't say you've seen me. Yes. Don't look under there. Woo! Gluttonous food provider, right? That's what that's a representation of, okay? And then look at us in comparison. The hunger we the hunger we feel. Try not to take things too literal. Remember, dreams are never literal. Oh, got me. You're covered in bubbles. I love the observation there. Hey, you're covered in bubbles. I am covered in suds. Suds. That's a good word. You don't really hear that much. Suds. Suds to be you. Suds to be that bloke. Tip, if you don't know you're dreaming or not, hold your nose. If you can breathe, you're in a dream. They said that pinching as well. Sudsy boy. Here we go. I think it's saved after I did the switch, so it should be going the right way. It's not going the right way. What the fuck? Why would it auto-save before I pulled the switch? Oh, kill me, kill me, kill me. That's annoying. Sud's law. If it can wash up, it will wash up. Bubbly bum face maker. What the fuck? Right, okay. It was my fault. I should have been more observant of the switch. Kill me, kill me, kill me. Ah, he's caught me. Hello. He already got me. He was already by the door before I pressed the switch. I didn't have time to jump down and hide. We're learning. We're learning. We'll get it this time. This is the one. And I know when people say that, they're like, this is the one, and then it isn't, and everyone goes, ha ha ha. Death token in the chat. No, not going to happen this time. This time we're going to nail it. I am covered in bubbles. Look at that. I didn't notice that before. I just thought you meant I was walking through it. It actually sticks to my raincoat. Huh. Exactly, yeah. Normally that's what happens, right? You say, oh, I'm going to nail it, and then you don't, and you're like, oh, I eat my own words. Feel very liquid. But then this time, look, I'm showing you. We're going to do it. Actually going to do it this time. Right, if I use this key, one of these is going to move back now. There he goes. Oh, he doesn't actually come all the way. One of these is going to go to the right. Yeah, there we go. That could work. Because he's going to go left. This guy's going to go right. Oh, plate drop. Quick. Come on, quick. Fuck. Yeah, here we go. Obviously, something's popped up and I have to go. Enjoy your stream and I'll message later. No problem, Trundles. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for doing all the shout-outs for me, mate. And for the gift subs yourself. You incredible human being. Love you very much. I will talk to you later. I'll see you later. Have a good evening. Hope everything's okay. That guy's waiting for me. Oh, shit. No. Ah, that bloody detritus got in the way. Oh, yes, detritus. I use words like that. Oh, good. We start here. Okay. Wow. What the hell am I meant to outrun him? I have to immediately be pressing these keys down. Right, here we go. Yeah, okay. This might be it. This might be it. Oh! Quick! Ah! Timing was off. The hook wasn't there when I needed it to be. Ah! I pressed the wrong button. He's going to catch up with me quick. Oh! Run. Okay, I could do it. I could do it. I could do it. No! I jumped just as he got me. Ah. So close. I crouched. He got me. He got me. He got me. Damn. Moving between crouch and running is really difficult for me. Okay, that time he just didn't move. That's annoying. He got me again. That time I think I held the keys down before I was meant to... Before they could be deemed pressed, if that makes sense. Okay, here we go. Yep, this is the one. This is it. So many broken plates, I don't understand it. It's all Greek to me. That one's for Meatloaf. He's got me. No, he hasn't. Oh, look at that! How close was that? You can throw all you want. Pricks. Woo! Yeah, hell yeah. I told you it was the one. No. Oh, fucking hell, I thought I fell then. Alright. Hey, that's the end of chapter 3!